So let me share my screen again to the twos. Twos is Hokmah, wisdom. And Hokmah is really about when you start to see dualities in everything. You see the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, both sides of the coin, and start to see that the the Keter is like nothingness, invisible, but then it starts to be shown into the light. And then you start to see that things, when they start to manifest, they do have two sides to the story. And neither is right or wrong. It just is. And they wouldn't exist without each other. Everything has duality. So that being said, all the two cards will be about wisdom, karmic life lessons, new like couple insights, good advice, and seeing the good and the bad, and using your sense of discernment to choose between the two, what is right for you. So wands is first. So this is a guy who just got knighted, and now he has like a new money. He has new reputation, new status, better job. And then they give him the penthouse. So he feels like he has the world in his hands, which he literally does. And then he looks out into the sea of possibilities. So he's like, I just got everything I wanted and worked for. Now what? Or now, like, I have all this freedom because I have the money to go travel and go see the world. And he kind of like is a big fish in a small pond, and he just feels like he outgrew the place and it's time to move on. So in a way, it's like you shouldn't you should just enjoy the successes as you have it. Don't always, some people just jump to the next thing. Like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? But they don't actually get to enjoy the success while they had it. Or sometimes people, they lose who they are to success and they keep moving forward. It's like, well, remember your roots and where you came from. And you can see that through the symbols of the card. And the card's actually gray too, so it connects to Hokmah again. Kind of like life lessons. So life lesson is don't let success to go to your head and forget where you came from. And you'll see with the wands, he has a wand that's behind him and stuck in the ground. And so it's like stuck in the place where he's from. And there's three branches. So you count the like objects to connect to the tree of life and the sphere. The third one is Bina, which means understanding. And it's also Saturn, which is like karmic life lessons and time and learning stuff over time through hard way and through experience. And so it's behind him. So this is like, don't forget where you came from. Understand your roots because it took a long time to get there. And all that stuff made you who you are today. So be grateful. Don't detach. And then the just like the Kabbalah tree of life, you have the left side is negative energy and the right side's positive. So in a human body, it's the same thing because the tree of life is like a map of the soul. So the left hand is always like receiving side and the right hand is giving. So in his left hand, he has, oh wait, in his right hand, sorry. In his left hand, he has the branch or the wand, sorry. And the wand has three branches. So again, it's be not energy, which is like he wants to go understand the world and maybe even give birth to new ideas of the world. Because Binah is the female energy of the tree who gives birth to these new ideas, gives birth to things and makes it better. So he's like, what can I do to make it better? And I want to understand what I don't know. I'm very curious. I want to see a whole sea of possibilities out there. It's a mix of emotions. And then on the right hand, he has the world. So he's like giving back to the world because of success now. So in a way, it's like dualities. Like, yes, he wants to do good for the world, but it's also like, well, he could be doing good for his family or his community. It's like, why would you leave at a time when you can do the most good? This is like someone who always sees the grass greener on the other side and has big like passion, desire, because the wands are all about passion, desire, and the world like with desire to create new things and have knowledge of the world, knowledge of new experiences. And sometimes people like that, they just are career driven and they just keep moving forward and they detach from their roots. But the advice of this is to be like Ginny from the block and don't forget where you came from. Two of Cups. All right, Two of Cups. This card is essentially all about compromise. compromising the dualities, male and female energies. You'll see the male is wearing female clothes and the female is wearing male clothes. So it's like you have to really understand the polarities within yourself to get balance. So you can't all be all drive, or you're going to lose out on the female energy. So this guy, he has a house in the background, which is like his goals that he goes for, which could be anything, but he's just so focused on his goals that he forgets about his family or even his feminine aspects. He just needs a vacation. So he comes out of the house and then he'll see his right hand touching the cup of the woman. So he's coming out of his comfort zone and less focused on his goals or work. And he starts to acknowledge his feminine side. Maybe he's going to come take an art class or tarot or something. And this could actually literally mean like in a love reading or even like in a partnership, someone's going to come out and acknowledge you and give you the respect that you deserve. The Lion of St. Mark is what they put in Italy, and it shows how they have equal control over land and sea. So it's equal control over male and female. Like sea would be female and land would be male, I guess, which is equal control. And so these people meet in the middle of the card. They see eye to eye, they compromise, and they share control. And they have a mutual respect for each other. And everybody gets what they need and what they deserve. And you know, if you have a partnership or making a deal with somebody, it's always like, I know I'll do something, but it's like, what do I get out of it? Like, what's in it for me? That's what this card's good advice is. And then it has a blue sky. And the blue just shows like it's chill, it's calm, and you can like trust the person that you're doing a business with or getting inside a partnership with. There's no life lesson to be learned. There's no black karma. It's just easy. And then you'll see those two snakes all winded up like a DNA. It's like the Codices Egyptian thing. And so it connects to healthy DNA, but like two strands of DNA. So it's like the two opposites connect and have healthy relationship. You can even see it as like one of the sexes looking at the other and seeing themselves in the other person. Like the male sees the woman, but he's wearing male, or the woman's wearing male clothes. So it's like when I look at you, I look at you just like you're the same as me with mutual respect. We're the same. Two of Swords. Can you see it? I think it's like a reflection though. Two of Swords. She's first actually sitting by the new moon. See the new moon on the top? New moon is a time when you set the intentions. It's a sign like because you manifest what you want throughout the month, but on the new moon, you actually get to choose what you want without any outside influences. Because the moon controls our emotions. It controls the water. So it's the waters rise. And so there's a new moon where the moon's like invisible in the sky or nearly invisible. And so it doesn't control the water. So you see the water in the back at nighttime, you think it'd be high tide, but it's not because it's new moon time. If it was a full moon, then the waves would like suck her in. So this is a time of the month where you're not influenced by any outside emotional reasonings. This is like, what do you want and why do you want it? And so it's like more logical. And so she has her sitting in the gray foundation, which is like Hokmah, wisdom and wise. So she's really wise with her thoughts and trying to think out the smartest thing to do in a big decision. Like this is the time to set intentions for what you want to manifest within that month. And then she has a blindfold over her eyes. And the blindfolds are just those white sashes or focus sashes. So you put it over a part of your body that you want to focus on. So she puts hers over her eyes because she focuses on her brain and her thoughts. She searches for all the answers within because she knows that all the answers she seeks don't come from outside sources. They come from within. You also like you do like karate. They wear sashes on their forehead and they wear a sash around their belt because they're focused because karate is like mind game and it's also for the physical. So they're focused on both. So she's focused on her inner eye and her intuition. And she holds these swords up, and swords are your thoughts, your ideas, and how you communicate with spirit. she holds them up like an antenna. She's trying to attract really good ideas and trying to figure out what she should do. And she filters out the bad ideas from the good, just trying to get the really wise ideas. And she's even all gray as well, so wise. And then the Hebrew letter Vav is the V, and she like makes a V with her swords. So Vav, just like the Aleph. Remember I told you Aleph had two Yos and a Vav. Well, Vav is like the it's just a stick looking thing. It looks like a nail. So like the nail that like sticks two things together, like the nails that stuck Jesus on the cross, or nails that stick a picture on the wall. A nail that also means tent peg. So it's like a tent that sticks to the ground and makes like permanently. So it connects two things into one and binds them, just like she's trying to connect to the spirit world and the brilliant ideas and then manifest them down into the real world. And so she's becoming a channel for brilliant ideas. And then if you even go deeper, the number two connects to the second sphere, which is ruled by Neptune. Neptune's all about dreams and out of the box thinking, fantasy, and just intuitive. So she's really tapping into that like 99% realm, that astral realm. The next two is the juggler, the two of pentacles. This guy, he's juggling two pentacles and he's practicing as if it's brand new. And that's why he has that ribbon or the training wheels or the the training band around it. He's just doing it brand new. And his shoes are green, just like if you have a green vegetable, it's not ripe yet, or you're wet behind the ears, you're new at this, you're a greenhorn. And so he's just starting out. And then he wears the dunce cap, which is like, you're dumb, you don't know yet, you have a lot to learn. And so he's like, he realizes he has a lot to learn and he needs to train first before he can really learn how to juggle something new into his life. So he tries to get like a work-life balance or maybe a new relationship going. Or maybe he's working really good, but then he has a relationship come into his life. And that's now I gotta start learning how to tackle this new thing on, learn how to juggle. And so it's always like, when you're Neptune people or Pisces, they seem to get overwhelmed real easy because they jump into things that just seem like it's too much to learn or too much to know. But then they get overwhelmed and they feel like giving up. But this guy is like, don't give up. Just enjoy the process and realize that you have to start somewhere and you'll get better in practice. And pretty soon he'll take off the training wheels, throw in another pentacle, and he'll be doing a three really easy. And then he'll become like a fun guy to bring to the parties and maybe even give him money for juggling. And then you see in the background, and then there's also the gray on the ground, just like a life lesson, right? So it's like he's learning new things and he's wise to keep the training band on. Some people, they get into tarot and they go, I want to figure it all out like right now. But you realize there's so much to learn that it takes a long time. And as you practice and do it, you figure out new things and you know what to say, or certain cards speak to you differently. It just takes a long time. But you got to start somewhere and enjoy the process. And then if you look in the background, there's a boat, like a really big boat, and he tackles on the big waves really easy. And then there's a little boat who can't tackle on the big waves very easily. And he looks at the other boat and he compares himself to it. And he's like, why can't I be that big boat? You know? And so it's like, just don't try to catch up. Just stay in your current, stay in your, where you're at now. And just in one day, you'll be a big boat. It just takes time. So take it in strides and just chill and don't get overwhelmed. That's why it's the blue in the background. Just calm.